Now, before we get into the plan itself, let's talk about why this matters so much, especially if you're over 60. Here's something most people don't realize. The average American consumes roughly 73 grams of added sugar every single day. That's about 17 teaspoons. 17. Imagine scooping 17 spoonfuls of white sugar into a bowl and just eating it with a spoon. You'd never do that, right? But that's essentially what's happening. Hidden inside your yogurt, your bread, your salad dressing, your orange juice, even your so-called healthy granola bars. When you're younger, your body can absorb some of that abuse. Your metabolism runs hotter. Your cells repair faster. But after 60, everything changes. Your pancreas doesn't produce insulin as efficiently as it used to. Insulin is the hormone that moves sugar out of your blood and into your cells for energy. When that system gets sluggish, sugar just lingers. It sits in your bloodstream like a guest who won't leave. And while it's sitting there, it's causing inflammation in your joints, feeding harmful bacteria in your gut, spiking your blood pressure, fogging up your thinking, and packing visceral fat. That's the dangerous fat wrapped around your organs, deep inside your belly. A 14-day sugar reset isn't a fad diet. It's not about deprivation or suffering. It's about giving your body a 2-week vacation from the substance that's been quietly wearing it down for decades. And the results, the ones backed by actual clinical research, are genuinely stunning. So stick with me through this entire video because I'm going to break down what happens inside your body during each phase of this reset, give you a clear day-by-day framework, warn you about the rough patches so you're prepared, and share practical swaps and tips that make the whole thing manageable, even enjoyable. Let's start at the very beginning. First, let's get crystal clear on what we're actually cutting out. Because when I say no sugar, I don't mean you can never eat a piece of fruit again. That's a common misconception, and it scares people away before they even start. There are 2 categories here: added sugars and natural sugars. Added sugars are the enemy. These are sweeteners dumped into foods during processing or preparation. Table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, cane juice, dextrose, maltose. Food manufacturers use over 56 different names for sugar on ingredient labels, partly because they don't want you to spot it easily. When you flip over a bottle of barbecue sauce and the second ingredient listed is high fructose corn syrup, that's added sugar. When your morning oatmeal packet contains 14 grams of sugar before you even add milk, that's added sugar. Natural sugars are different. The fructose inside a whole apple or a handful of blueberries comes packaged with fiber, water, vitamins, and antioxidants. That fiber slows down absorption dramatically, so your blood sugar rises gently instead of spiking like a rocket. During this 14-day reset, whole fruits in moderate amounts are absolutely fine. We're not punishing ourselves here, so the rule is simple. For 14 days, you avoid foods with added sugars, you read labels, you cook more at home, and you let your body remember what it feels like to run on clean fuel. Now, what exactly happens when you do that? Let me walk you through it, phase by phase. Let's be honest right up front. The first 3 days are the hardest. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Pun fully intended. Sugar activates the same reward pathways in your brain as certain addictive substances. When researchers at Connecticut College ran lab studies, they found that sugar triggered more neuronal activity in the brain's pleasure center than cocaine did. Now, that doesn't mean sugar is identical to hard drugs. The comparison has limits. But it does mean that when you suddenly stop feeding your brain its favorite treat, your brain throws a tantrum. During days 1 through 3, you might experience headaches, a dull, persistent throb right behind your forehead. You might feel irritable, snapping at your spouse over nothing, feeling restless and edgy for no clear reason. Fatigue is extremely common. Your body has been running on quick sugar energy for years, and suddenly it has to switch over to burning fat and more complex carbohydrates. That metabolic shift takes a few days to really kick in, and during the transition, your energy can dip noticeably. You might also get intense cravings, not just, oh, a cookie would be nice cravings. More like, I would drive to 3 different stores at 9 o'clock at night to find a specific brand of ice cream cravings. They can feel overwhelmed. Here's how you survive this phase. Drink water like it's your new religion. Dehydration amplifies headaches and cravings both. Keep a tall glass or a water bottle within arm's reach all day long. If plain water bores you, slice up a lemon or drop in a few cucumber rounds and some fresh mint. Eat enough protein and healthy fat at every meal. Scrambled eggs with avocado for breakfast, a chicken thigh with roasted vegetables for lunch, a small handful of almonds or walnuts when that 3 o'clock craving monster shows up. Protein and fat keep you full for hours because they digest slowly. They stabilize your blood sugar instead of sending it on a roller coaster. Go for a walk, even 10 or 15 minutes around the block. Movement releases endorphins, your body's own natural feel-good chemicals, and those endorphins take the edge off withdrawal symptoms surprisingly well. And above all, remind yourself that this phase is temporary. By day 4, something shifts. Most people wake up and notice the headache is gone. The cravings have softened from a roar to a whisper. You've made it through the worst part. Now we enter what I like to call the clarity window. This is where the magic starts. Between days 4 and 7, your body completes its metabolic transition. Instead of screaming for quick sugar, your cells start efficiently pulling energy from the fats and complex carbohydrates you're feeding them. Your blood sugar levels begin to stabilize into a smooth, steady line instead of that jagged up and down spike pattern, and you feel it everywhere. Your energy changes first. Instead of that familiar pattern, a burst of energy after a meal followed by a crash 2 hours later where you need a nap or another snack, you get something different. Steady, sustained energy that carries you from morning through afternoon without that desperate slump. Several people who've done this reset describe it the same way. They say it feels like someone cleaned a dirty windshield they didn't even know was dirty. Everything just seems sharper. Your sleep often improves around this time too. Excess sugar consumption disrupts sleep architecture. The natural cycle of deep sleep, lighter sleep, and REM sleep, your brain needs to consolidate memories and repair tissue. When sugar drops out of the equation, many people report falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and waking up feeling genuinely rested instead of groggy. Your digestion may also settle. Bloating decreases. That puffy, uncomfortable feeling in your belly after meals starts to fade. Sugar feeds certain strains of gut bacteria that produce gas and inflammation, and once you starve them out, the more beneficial bacteria start gaining ground. Here's your game plan for days 4 through 7. Build your meals around what I call the simple plate method. Fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables: broccoli, spinach, bell peppers, green beans, zucchini, cauliflower. Fill a quarter with lean protein: grilled chicken, baked fish, eggs, turkey. Fill the remaining quarter with a complex carbohydrate: sweet potato, brown rice, quinoa, or a slice of whole grain bread with no added sugar on the label. For snacks, keep things straightforward. Celery with natural peanut butter. Check the label. It should contain just peanuts and maybe salt, nothing else. A small cup of plain Greek yogurt with a few fresh raspberries. A hard-boiled egg sprinkled with everything bagel seasoning. Cheese cubes with a few whole grain crackers. Notice something? None of this is weird, exotic, or expensive. You don't need special supplements. You don't need to order meal kits from the internet. This is real, ordinary food from your regular grocery store. Now, if you're over 60 or caring for an elderly loved one, I want you to really pay attention to what comes next. Because the second week of this reset is where the truly significant health changes happen. The kind of changes your doctor would notice on your next blood panel. By the second week, your body has moved past the adjustment phase and into genuine repair mode. Let's talk about what's happening under the surface, inside your blood vessels, your liver, your joints, and your brain. Inflammation begins dropping measurably. C-reactive protein, a marker doctors use to gauge systemic inflammation in the body, has been shown to decrease significantly within 10 to 14 days of eliminating added sugars. For seniors, this is enormous. Chronic low-grade inflammation is the silent engine behind arthritis flare-ups, cardiovascular plaque buildup, cognitive decline, and even certain cancers. When you pull sugar out of the equation, you're essentially turning down the dial on that engine. Your liver gets a much-needed break. The liver processes fructose, the specific sugar molecule found in table sugar and high fructose corn syrup, and when it's overloaded, it starts converting that fructose into fat. That fat accumulates right inside the liver tissue, a condition called fatty liver disease. It affects nearly 1 in 4 adults over 60 in this country, and most of them don't know they have it because it rarely causes obvious symptoms until it's advanced. 2 weeks without added sugar gives your liver the breathing room to start clearing out some of that stored fat. Your taste buds begin to physically regenerate. This one surprises people, but it's real. Taste bud cells turn over roughly every 10 to 14 days. When you've been flooding them with intense sweetness for years, they become desensitized. They need more and more sugar to register sweet. But as new taste bud cells grow in during this reset, they develop at a normal sensitivity level. Suddenly, a fresh strawberry tastes explosively sweet. A roasted carrot has a richness you'd forgotten about. Plain yogurt doesn't taste bland anymore, it tastes tangy and complex. This is the phase where people start saying things like, "I can't believe I used to put sugar in my coffee. It tastes so much better without it." That's not willpower talking, that's biology. Your tongue has literally recalibrated itself. During days 8 through 11, keep doing exactly what you've been doing. Don't complicate it. Same simple plate method, same water intake, same walks. Consistency is everything here. You've built momentum, and the worst possible thing you could do is introduce some elaborate new recipe system or overthink the process. One tip that helps a lot of people during this stretch: keep a small notebook on your kitchen counter and jot down how you're feeling each morning. Just a sentence or two. Slept through the night. Knees felt loose walking down the stairs. Energy was good until about 4. When you look back at those notes on day 14, the progression will genuinely surprise you. You're almost there. And honestly, by now most people aren't white-knuckling it anymore. The cravings have faded to almost nothing. The new eating pattern feels familiar. Your body has settled into this cleaner rhythm, and here's the part nobody expects: you don't actually want to go back. During these final 3 days, consolidation happens. Your blood sugar regulation has improved. Your fasting glucose, the number your doctor checks first thing in the morning on blood work, may have dropped by 10, 15, even 20 points depending on where you started. Your triglycerides, those blood fats closely linked to sugar intake, begin trending downward. Your blood pressure may have nudged lower because high insulin levels cause your kidneys to retain sodium, and less sugar means less insulin means less sodium retention means less pressure on your arterial walls. Mentally, many people notice improved focus and sharper short-term memory during this final phase. That's not placebo. Chronic high blood sugar damages small blood vessels in the brain over time, and even a 2-week reprieve allows better blood flow to the regions responsible for recall and concentration. Here's the critical question: what happens on day 15? I'll tell you what I recommend. Don't go back to the old way. That doesn't mean you can never have a piece of birthday cake again. It means you've spent 14 days proving to yourself that you don't need added sugar to feel satisfied, to enjoy food, to have energy, so you move forward with intention. You keep reading labels. You keep cooking simple meals at home. And when you do choose something sweet, a scoop of ice cream at your grandchild's birthday party, a slice of pie at Thanksgiving, you enjoy it fully, consciously, and then you return to your baseline. The goal was never perfection. The goal was awareness, and now you have it. Before I wrap up, let me give you some quick, practical swaps that make this entire reset dramatically easier. Instead of flavored yogurt, which can contain 25 grams of sugar per cup, buy plain Greek yogurt and stir in your own fresh berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Instead of bottled salad dressing, mix olive oil with lemon juice, a little Dijon mustard, salt, pepper, and a pinch of garlic powder. Takes 45 seconds and tastes better than anything from a bottle. Instead of white bread or sandwich rolls, look for whole grain bread where the first ingredient is whole wheat flour and the sugar content is 2 grams or less per slice. Instead of fruit juice, which is essentially sugar water with the fiber stripped out, eat the actual fruit. 1 whole orange has about 12 grams of natural sugar wrapped in 3 grams of fiber. A glass of orange juice has 26 grams of sugar and 0 fiber. Instead of ketchup, which is roughly 25% sugar by weight, try mustard, hot sauce, salsa, or a squeeze of fresh lemon on your protein. Instead of soda or sweet tea, try sparkling water with a splash of lemon or lime. If you miss the flavor, brew a pitcher of herbal tea. Peppermint or ginger work beautifully, and chill it overnight in the fridge. These aren't sacrifices, they're upgrades. Once your taste buds recalibrate by the end of the 2 weeks, you'll genuinely prefer most of these options. Let's bring it all together. 14 days. That's all we're talking about. 2 weeks of reading labels, cooking simple meals, drinking more water, and letting your body do what it already knows how to do: heal, regulate, and rebalance. Once you stop pouring sugar into the system. Days 1 through 3 will test your patience. Expect headaches, cravings, and fatigue, and power through them with protein, water, and short walks. Days 4 through 7 bring the shift: steadier energy, better sleep, less bloating, and the first hints of mental clarity. Days 8 through 11 take you deeper: inflammation dropping, your liver recovering, your taste buds resetting to a sensitivity you haven't experienced in years. Days 12 through 14 seal the deal. You finish stronger, lighter, sharper, and armed with the knowledge that you're fully capable of eating this way long term. Margaret, the retired teacher from Ohio I mentioned at the start, lost 6 pounds during her 14-day reset, but that wasn't the number she cared about. Her fasting glucose dropped from 118 to 97. Her doctor called it the best lab improvement I've seen in a patient your age without medication. She told me her favorite part was something smaller, something no blood test could measure. She said she woke up on day 10 and realized that for the first time in years, her fingers didn't ache when she made her morning coffee. That could be you. 14 days from now, you could feel lighter, think clearer, move easier, and sleep deeper than you have in a very long time. And all it costs is a decision. The decision to start tomorrow morning. You deserve to feel good in your body, not eventually, not someday, now. If this video gave you something useful today, I'd be grateful if you'd hit that subscribe button. We put out new senior health content every single week, and I don't want you to miss any of it. Share this video with someone you care about: a spouse, a sibling, a friend who's been struggling with energy or joint pain or blood sugar numbers that keep creeping up. Sometimes the right information at the right time changes everything. And drop a comment below. Tell me, are you going to try this 14-day reset? Or maybe you've already done something similar and you have your own results to share. I read every single comment and I'd love to hear from you. Take care of yourself. You're worth it.